We are living in one of the strangest times in human history. For most of civilization, music was rare, sacred, ritualistic. A person heard music in temples, ceremonies, festivals, churches, mystery schools, or communal gatherings. Sound was not casual. It was treated as power. But today, every person carries an infinite library of music in their pocket. At any moment, you can enter any emotional state you want. Rage, desire, melancholy, confidence, nostalgia, violence, love, lust, peace, chaos, all through sound. And perhaps this is one of the most overlooked spiritual dangers of the modern world. Because music is not merely entertainment. Music is hypnosis. It bypasses ordinary logic. It enters the nervous system directly. It alters mood, posture, memory, imagination, emotion, identity, and behavior before the rational mind even understands what is happening. And Manly P. Hall, along with the ancient mystery traditions, understood something modern people often forget. Sound organizes consciousness. Music can elevate the soul, but it can also degrade it. It can harmonize the inner world, or it can program the mind into lower patterns of thought, desire, aggression, and identification. This is why ancient philosophers treated music as a sacred science, not background noise, not entertainment, but a mathematical technology capable of shaping the human soul. The Pythagoreans believed the universe itself was structured through number, proportion, rhythm, and harmony. They called this the music of the spheres, the idea that the cosmos was not random, but ordered through invisible harmonic relationships. The planets moved according to proportion. The soul responded to proportion. The body responded to rhythm, and music became the bridge between the human being and cosmic order. Manly P. Hall wrote extensively about the ancient belief that music contained moral, spiritual, and mathematical power. To the mystery schools, music was not simply sound. It was geometry made audible. Every interval, every rhythm, every repetition, every vibration. All of it shaped the invisible architecture of the psyche. This means that when you listen to music repeatedly, you are not merely hearing sound. You are allowing a pattern to enter you. A rhythm begins organizing your nervous system. A melody begins shaping emotional atmosphere. Lyrics begin programming internal language. Images begin forming in the imagination. And over time, repeated sound becomes repeated identity. This is why music is so powerful. It does not ask permission from the intellect. It slips beneath it. A song can change your mood in seconds. It can make you feel powerful, depressed, seductive, aggressive, spiritual, nostalgic, rebellious, lonely, or inspired. That is hypnosis. Not necessarily in the theatrical sense, but in the deeper psychological sense. A rhythmic pattern enters consciousness and alters the state of the listener. This is why you must be careful with what you repeatedly listen to. Because whatever you repeatedly enter emotionally begins shaping the matrix you live inside. Your personal matrix is not only built by thoughts, it is built by sound, by repetition, by emotion, by language, by atmosphere, by the symbols you consume every day. If you repeatedly listen to music that glorifies violence, domination, empty sexuality, hatred, addiction, nihilism, betrayal, arrogance, or disrespect, those patterns begin entering the subconscious as emotional scripts. This does not mean every person who listens to dark music becomes destructive, but it does mean sound carries psychological influence, and repeated influence becomes conditioning. This is especially important with certain forms of modern rap and popular music that constantly repeat themes of violence, sexism, material obsession, drug use, emotional numbness, and domination. The problem is not rap as a genre. There is conscious rap, poetic rap, spiritual rap, political rap, deep storytelling rap. But when any music repeatedly glorifies lower impulses, the listener must ask, What state is this putting me in? What identity is this reinforcing? What emotional world am I entering? What behavior does this music normalize? What kind of person do I become when I listen to this every day? Because music can put people into a trance of lower dimensional energy, a state where the body is stimulated, but the spirit is dulled, a state where aggression feels powerful, lust feels like confidence, numbness feels like strength, ego feels like identity, and destruction feels like freedom. This is one of the hidden dangers of modern sound culture. People think they are choosing music, but often, music is choosing their state of consciousness for them. Ancient cultures understood this much more clearly. Plato warned that changes in music could eventually change the character of society. Pythagoras used music for purification. Mystery schools used chants, hymns, rhythm, and sacred tones to elevate consciousness. Religious traditions around the world used sacred music to align the individual with divine order. Gregorian chant, Vedic mantra, Sufi music, pagan drumming, temple hymns, shamanic rhythm. All of these traditions recognize that sound changes the state of the soul. This is why ritual often begins with sound. A bell, a chant, a drum, a hymn, a mantra, a spoken invocation. Sound marks the transition from ordinary consciousness into sacred consciousness. It creates atmosphere. It opens the inner world. It tells the subconscious, you are entering another state. Modern music works the same way, except most people no longer use it consciously. Instead of intentionally choosing frequencies, rhythms, and lyrics that elevate their mind, they consume whatever the algorithm feeds them. And this is where the danger becomes even stronger. Because the modern algorithm does not care whether music strengthens your soul. It cares whether music keeps you engaged. If outrage engages you, it gives you outrage. If lust engages you, it gives you lust. If sadness engages you, it gives you sadness. If aggression engages you, it gives you aggression. And slowly, the listener becomes trapped inside a repeated emotional atmosphere. This is how music programs your matrix. Not instantly, not magically, but gradually, through repetition, through identification, through emotional conditioning, through subconscious absorption. The song becomes a mood. The mood becomes a thought pattern. The thought pattern becomes a behavior. The behavior becomes identity. And identity becomes destiny. This is why Manly P. Hall's view of music is so important. Because he saw music as part of the larger harmonic structure of existence. The human being was not meant to live in dissonance. When the inner world becomes filled with chaotic sound, vulgar imagery, aggressive rhythm, and degrading language, consciousness becomes fragmented. The nervous system becomes overstimulated. The imagination becomes polluted. The emotions become reactive. The soul loses refinement. But when music is chosen consciously, it becomes a tool for spiritual evolution. Certain sounds can calm the nervous system. Certain rhythms can deepen focus. Certain melodies can awaken reverence. Certain chants can stabilize attention. Certain harmonies can create emotional purification. Certain instrumental music can open imagination without programming the mind with destructive language. This is why a person serious about spiritual development should treat music like diet. Because sound is food for the subtle body. Just as unhealthy food changes the physical body, unhealthy sound changes the psychological and spiritual body. The question is not only, do I like this song? The deeper question is, what is this song doing to me? Does it make me more centered, more creative, more disciplined, more loving, more spiritually aware? Or does it make me more aggressive, distracted, lustful, arrogant, numb, anxious, or chaotic? This is not about becoming afraid of music. It is about becoming conscious of influence. The occult path is not unconscious consumption. It is awareness. The magician must understand what enters the mind. The mystic must protect the inner atmosphere. The philosopher must examine what shapes perception. And the spiritual seeker must recognize that sound is one of the most powerful forces acting upon consciousness. Because music is ritual, every playlist is an altar. Every repeated lyric is an affirmation. Every rhythm is a form of entrainment. Every song is a doorway into a state of being. And if you are not choosing that doorway consciously, then something else is choosing it for you. The solution is not to stop listening to music. The solution is to listen with discernment. Create different sound environments for different states. Use calming music for reflection, sacred or ambient music for meditation, instrumental music for focus, high-energy music for disciplined movement, beautiful music for emotional refinement, silence for spiritual reset. And be very cautious with music that repeatedly drags your consciousness into violence, lust, hatred, nihilism, or ego worship. Because what you repeatedly consume eventually becomes familiar. And what becomes familiar eventually begins to feel normal. This is how the matrix of perception is built. Not only through news, not only through social media, not only through education, but through rhythm, through sound, through atmosphere, through the music you allow to live inside your mind. Perhaps this is why ancient masters treated music as sacred. They understood that the soul has to be tuned like an instrument. If the inner strings are constantly exposed to dissonance, the entire being becomes disordered. But if the inner strings are tuned toward harmony, beauty, discipline, and higher consciousness, the person begins vibrating differently. They think differently, move differently, choose differently, perceive differently, live differently. Music is not passive. Music is programming. Music is hypnosis. Music is ritual. And the person who understands this stops listening casually. They begin listening like an alchemist, choosing only the sounds that refine the soul instead of degrading it. Because in a world where every song is instantly available, the real power is not access. The real power is discernment. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and have a wonderful day.